favorite jackpot game. This is Powerball. Good evening, America. I'm Laura Johnson. Tonight we have another life-changing jackpot for you. It's worth an estimated $337.9 million. So get those tickets out. Let's play. That first number up is 68. Followed by the number 27. Tonight we're going to meet Jania Mangum, who won $50,000 playing Powerball. Congratulations, Jania. Now for the rest of those numbers, we've got 63, 33, rounding it out with 66. Your Powerball number tonight, good luck everyone, is 9, and your Power Play multiplier is 2. Let's take another look at those winning numbers. Remember, there are multiple ways to win. We'll see you back here Monday night. Good night, everyone.
Live from Augusta, we're watching News 1226 at 11.
Well, good evening. Today was Small Business Saturday, the nationally recognized day after Black Friday. Saw a good turnout in our area as well. Well, News 12's Audrey Dickerber was downtown. Audrey, after Black Friday madness, where's the incentive to hit back to the shops?
Well, this is the third year Soul City has had an event for Small Business Saturday, and each year they have offered different perks to get people to join in. This year, the first 200 people were given a free bag. People had the chance to enter into a raffle each time they made a purchase from the 14 participating stores, with baskets that each of the businesses donated.
It's really important to plan big events like this to get the awareness out about what is in your hometown. A lot of times people walk by the same store over and over again and they never take the venture inside. This way we're kind of rewarding them for going in these stores, checking it out.
As downtown grows, locals are excited to support small businesses.
You know, we just want our city to grow and thrive and put our money here instead of in a big box store, you know? I don't want to shop at Walmart.
Because the people you are supporting might even be your next door neighbor.
Your money stays local, your money goes to helping people who pretty much are your neighbors, and they appreciate that so much. They're willing to make those connections with you. They're willing to help you and guide you. Whereas, the big box stores, you click a button and it's done, So there's a lot more of a personal touch.
Alexia opened a new business downtown this month called Earth Pantry, Augusta's first zero-waste refill store. She says today exceeded her expectations.
Today has been incredible. I haven't seen this many people, this many sales, and everyone's smiling, everyone's loving it.
Hoping that people will come back and support Earth Pantry and the other businesses downtown.
Every business owner has made their business with work and with love. So just getting a gift for your loved ones at a big box store, it means something. But when you get it from a small business, there's even more behind it. More love was made into the product, and then it was given with love by your choice as well. So it just means so much more.
Soul City is hoping to expand Small Business Saturday. Last year they had 6 businesses. This year they had 14, hoping to add more and more businesses each year.
Alrighty, thanks for checking in downtown, Audrey. Now tossing things over to First Alert meteorologist Emily Acton. Emily, how is it looking for the rest of our weekend?
Well, we've had a great holiday so far. We had Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Small Business Saturday, great weather, but the rain is going to come back for our Sunday, unfortunately. But as we head into the overnight hours, we're sitting in those middle 40s. We'll cool off a few more degrees overnight. Some spots could see those upper 30s, so a cold start to our Sunday morning. Definitely need to have a jacket or even a coat as you head out the door for your Sunday activities. Again, going to see temperatures in the 30s in some spots. A lot of spots, actually, but we'll warm up and see those upper 50s by the later afternoon hours. So slowly but surely warming up. Could be partly to mostly cloudy, though, throughout the day. But we'll see right around 57 for our high temperature. But the rain's coming in later on in the afternoon and early evening hours, Craig, and I'll have a check on that coming up soon.
Thanks for the heads up, Emily. Well, the Aiken County Coroner's Office is investigating a single vehicle accident that killed one man and injured another. The accident happened late this afternoon on Wagner Road near Holcomb Road, and officials say the driver of the vehicle has been identified as 79-year-old Samuel Green, who ran off the road and hit a tree. He was pronounced dead on scene by the Aiken County Coroner, and the passenger in the vehicle was taken to the hospital nearby, and their condition is not known at this time. President Biden ordered flags to fly at half-staff from today through Wednesday the 29th in memory of Rosalind Carter, who passed away last week at the age of 96. Memorial services for the former First Lady will be held Tuesday in Atlanta and Wednesday in her hometown of Plains, Georgia. Biden is scheduled to arrive in Atlanta along with the First Lady to attend her memorial service in the Peach State City. Well, the Burke County Sheriff's Office held its second annual motorcycle charity ride this morning. 114 bikes took to the streets this year, and the Sheriff's Office thanked everyone that showed up. In a Facebook post, they say all proceeds are going towards gifts for the community and other events. The Palmetto Peach Half Marathon started bright and early at SRP Park this morning at 8 a.m., scheduled until 1, but finishing a bit earlier. The 6th annual half marathon took runners across the Savannah River into Georgia. Both the 10K and the 5K races finished back at SRP Park. Now, here's some video from former President Trump, who showed up to Williams-Brice Field for the rivalry game between the Carolina Gamecocks and the Clemson Tigers, captured by our own Dan Booth at the game. Former president was invited by South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster. Trump and McMaster were on the field at halftime for the Palmetto Bowl. The University of South Carolina's presidential hopeful and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley's alma mater. Trump claimed he has the support of multiple South Carolina legislatures. But we are headed out to the stadiums. Dan and Alyssa are live breaking down the Georgia and South Carolina games next in sports.
Innovation, the process of creating new value. Because standing still means being left behind. At News 12, our innovation is unmatched technology, investing in a team that works for you, advocating for our community, working hard 24/7 to earn your trust every day. And now, recognized nationally for excellence in innovation, and honored to be on your side. Walk through our open Monday through Friday from 10 to 4. On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
Good evening, everyone. It's the final week of the regular season for college football, and that means we have some great rivalry games across the nation tonight, including a couple of big ones across the two states. In just a minute, we're going to hear from Alyssa Lyons, who is live in Atlanta, breaking down everything from the Dogs and the Jackets game out there. But for now, let's dive into the 2023 edition of the Palmetto Bowl between South Carolina and Clemson. After losing their game last year in their own building, the Clemson Tigers came to Williams-Brice Stadium and defeated the Gamecocks 16-7 in this one, and this one dragged a little bit. There was a lot of defense, a lot of penalties, and both of these teams were just grinding this game out in the 120th edition of this rivalry. Now, it feels like every time these two teams go head-to-head, they're playing for more than just bragging rights, and that could not be more true tonight for the Gamecocks, who coming into this game only had 5 wins. They finished their season with those 5 wins, which means they are not bowl eligible this season, and their season is over. That is the first time under Shane Beamer that this team will not be going bowling. And part of that early on in this game, very, very early on in this game, rather, South Carolina had 2 turnovers in the first minute of this game, one of which was a fumble that went all the way into the end zone for Clemson, putting the Tigers up 7-0 early on, and that really dictated the pace, giving Clemson the momentum they needed early on in this game. Now, the Gamecocks defense did give them a chance. They put a lot of pressure on Cade Klubnik, who was under fire for the majority of the night, and to be honest with you, one of the things that I was looking forward to in this game was to seeing how Clemson was going to be attacking the Gamecocks deep, which has been one of the Gamecocks' problems on defense this season. They did not take a lot of shots downfield, which led the Gamecocks to stay in this game. The Gamecocks got into the end zone on a trick play that ended up being their lone score of the game. But now Clemson ended up having a couple of field goals in this game. They were able to move the ball just into field goal range enough to give them a chance to take the lead and keep adding to it. And despite not allowing an offensive touchdown, South Carolina just couldn't get enough going on offense, which ended up leading to their demise once again, 16-7. The Gamecocks will not be playing anymore this season, but the Georgia Bulldogs had themselves a game tonight before the SEC championship game against in in Atlanta next weekend against Alabama. Let's send it out to Atlanta for Alyssa Lyons, who's breaking down the game between the Dogs and the Jackets.
All right, thanks, Dan. Georgia, another big win, 31-23 here in Atlanta. I'm sure some of you who are living in a house divided, one kid is probably upstairs and not too happy. And they're probably divided on the decision today on the Georgia sideline whether or not to play their main guys, Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers, both dressed in their uniform but did not play tonight. Brock Bowers still tweaking that ankle. They wanted to keep him healthy for that big SEC championship game coming up. And maybe it was a good thing because this clean old-fashioned hate game was a little bit dirtier to start than what they were probably used to. The sign says, "We rule, Tech drools," but I put money down that the fan was after pushing Tech to a 3-and-out and Edwards giving the ball right back to him at the 37. Haynes King made quick work and he sticks it at the 9 and runs it right on in for the first score of the game. It was a break in the glass Georgia needed. Sometimes you gotta let the pot boil before you gotta get to cooking. Georgia scored on their next 3 drives to find the distance they were used to before the end of the half. What we aren't used to is a heavy ground game by Georgia. While in the past games it's a nice mix, this was really a 1-2 punch out of Dejon Edwards and Kendall Milton. Now, we did see some of those guys that we have been seeing practice before pregame, which is Oscar Delpin, even some of those guys that maybe we see come in the fourth quarter. Those guys are going to be probably playing a lot more next year, and it was a really good chance to just see how they fit into this offense when all those main guys like Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers are both gone. But this week, all eyes are now turning to that big SEC championship, especially after Alabama pulled off that last-second win over Auburn.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of coats out there, and that's because it's pretty chilly. We're sitting right at 44, and that's not the coldest that we'll see tonight. I'll let you know about that, and some rain possible coming up.
And another round of hostages were released after.
George Sink Injury Lawyers has the experience to help you get your money faster. That's 999-9999. Trust meteorologist Emily Acton for your first alert.
Video shot by an American scientist on Wednesday captures the scale of the world's largest iceberg, which recently broke free and is now drifting beyond Antarctic waters. At almost 1,500 square miles, the Antarctic iceberg, called A23A, is roughly 3 times the size of New York City. Planetary scientists from NASA said the iceberg is the largest surviving fragment of an iceberg that broke free of the Flincher ice shelf in August of 1896. Absolutely insane footage there. Can't even imagine that sheer size. Do we have any epic proportions of weather hitting the CSRA, Emily?
We're going to see some rainfall. Not anything that cold out there, but I mean, it's still a chilly night. We saw lots of coats. I am glad everybody was prepared for the weather. They must have had their Wrdw weather app for them for those games tonight. Again, sitting at 44 right now. But I want to bring your attention to the drought monitor. Most of north of Interstate 20, so most of our northern counties are under some sort of drought condition. So that's either abnormally dry, moderate, and some counties are under a severe drought. So again, be aware of that. We also have dry air conditions for us, so easy for those fires to spread. I know things are getting colder. It's definitely bonfire season, but just be aware of that. We're not under any restrictions, but it's very dry out there. But different story for our Sunday. Going to see some rain moving in. And again, yesterday the models had it completely missing us, at least the later models, but could see some heavy rain.
Faster. That's 999-9999. Trust meteorologist Emily Acton for your first alert.
Video shot by an American scientist on Wednesday captures the scale of the world's largest iceberg, which recently broke free and is now drifting beyond Antarctic waters. At almost 1,500 square miles, the Antarctic iceberg, called A23A, is roughly 3 times the size of New York City. Planetary scientists from NASA said the iceberg is the largest surviving fragment of an iceberg that broke free of the Flincher ice shelf in August of 1896. Absolutely insane footage there. Can't even imagine that sheer size. Do we have any epic proportions of weather hitting the CSRA, Emily?
We're going to see some rainfall. Not anything that cold out there, but I mean, it's still a chilly night. We saw lots of coats. I'm glad everybody was prepared for the weather. They must have had their WRDW weather app for them for those games tonight. Again, sitting at 44 right now. But I want to bring your attention to the drought monitor. Most of north of Interstate 20, so most of our northern counties are under some sort of drought condition. So that's either abnormally dry, moderate, and some counties are under a severe drought. So again, be aware of that. We also have dry air conditions for us, so easy for those fires to spread. I know things are getting colder. It's definitely bonfire season, but just be aware of that. We're not under any restrictions, but it's very dry out there. But different story for our Sunday. Going to see some rain moving in. And again, yesterday the models had it completely missing us, at least the later models. But could see some heavy rainfall late in the afternoon, early evening hours for us here in the CSRA. Maybe a couple rumbles of thunder, but overall just expecting some heavy rainfall. It'll be out of our hair, though, come late or early, I should say, Monday morning. But let's take a little bit of a closer look. Again, a cold start to our Sunday. Mostly cloudy throughout the day, and the rain chances come in late afternoon, early evening for us. Maybe some thunderstorms down along the coast, but overall just expecting some heavy rainfall. But a nice start to our Monday. Things are going to be clear and sunny, so a great way to start off our week. On the colder side, though, we'll only reach those upper 50s for our Monday, and then cooling off into the 30s. Again, expecting overnight. So tomorrow night, going to be a little bit warmer in those 40s, but this is a very fall forecast for us. We're seeing gray sky conditions, excluding tomorrow, but the rest of the 7-day, things are looking dry, either partly cloudy or mostly sunny, and then we're seeing high temperatures in the low 60s, upper 50s. Definitely a fall forecast for us. Overnight lows, we're going to be flirting with freezing. I don't know if a lot of plants are still out, but if you have anything sensitive to the cold, it's going to be near freezing several nights in a row. Craig, it's probably time to turn on the heat.
All right, thanks for the huge heads up, Emily. Well, Hamas released 13 more. Now, Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer convicted of murdering George Floyd in 2020, was stabbed at a federal prison in Arizona yesterday. No other inmates or staff were said to be injured at the facility. Chauvin is serving a 21-year federal sentence for violating Floyd's civil rights and a concurrent 22.5-year sentence for murder on his conviction in Minnesota State Court. As we head to break, here's a live look at the Las Vegas Sphere and your winning lotto numbers.
I'm Richmond County Sheriff Richard Roundtree. If you're expecting packages to be delivered when you're not at home, be aware of rising delivery thefts during this holiday season. Instead, send your packages to a family member, a friend, or a work address. Stay safe, Augusta.
Flavor on and you know.
I'm Richmond County Sheriff Richard Roundtree. Theft from cars don't always involve breaking into your vehicle. Do not make it easy for a thief to steal your weapon or other valuables from your vehicle. Please, lock your doors and do not store weapons in unattended vehicles.
First alert.
The holiday spending spirit is putting a dent in wallets across the country. Some Americans took part in Small Business Saturday, boosting their local stores, but many are returning to traditions past, flocking to malls.
Morning, guys! Welcome! Malls and store parking lots across the country are packed this weekend. Next in line, with Thanksgiving shoppers stuffing shopping bags and taking advantage of sales.
We're having a mom and girls shopping day today, and we're having fun.
But instead of crowds chasing deals as in years past, the experience is more social for these shoppers, with some 37% preferring to browse and buy in person. Many of those want to get back into stores to check out products
and to avoid shipping costs.
Why did you choose to shop in person this year?
Well, I did look online, but it's just funner to be out, like in the crowd. I think we like to be in the, the hustle.
While inflation, credit card debt, and higher interest rates are eating into many holiday budgets, shoppers still plan to spend on average more than $1,600 this holiday season. That's 14% more than last year. But their holiday lists are shorter, with about 8 gifts instead of 9.
Are you spending more this year as opposed to last year?
We're looking to spend at least the same, but we're really just watching for the deals that they're having.
While in-person shopping is seeing a major jump, Cyber Monday sales are still expected to hit a record high, with many making purchases on their phones.
Well, we didn't have any measurable rainfall today, but different story for our Sunday. I'll have one more check on your 7-day coming up.
After a couple
Wesley Woods of Augusta, St. John Towers. Make us your home, and we'll make your day every day.
The Marines taught me.
The Canadian Pacific Holiday Train traveled through South Bend, Indiana earlier this morning as part of its annual journey across the U.S. and Canada to raise money for local food banks. The train is set to arrive in Bensenville, Illinois this evening, start traveling across the two nations on November 20th, and will finish on December 19th. The CPKC website says it has raised more than $22.5 million and 5 million pounds of food since its inception in 1990. It reminds me of the Polar Express.
Yes.
I mean, at best, if you're traveling to a family member's house and you have the Honda Odyssey DVD player in the car, best travel movie because it's like you're traveling with the movie.
Okay.
I did that from Virginia to New Jersey every year to see my aunt. It was perfect movie.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the Polar Express. That's pretty cool there. I think we're looking at the Vegas Sphere here.
Gosh. Look at this light show. What is it?
Oh,
It's like a
we're
space adventure.
in outer space. Okay.
Were we saying earlier about lights hitting the hotel rooms?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to be in a hotel super close to that because it looks very bright. But, I mean, if you can't sleep, you got something to look at there.
There you go.
But switching things over to our forecast for us, going to see some showers later on in the afternoon, early evening hours for us here again tomorrow afternoon. But things are looking dry for our work week. Partly cloudy to start off the week and then turning mostly sunny. We can expect temperatures in the lower 60s, upper 50s some days. But again, great weather for us overnight. We're going to see lows in the 30s, so a very cold forecast for us as well. It's very fall for us, Craig.
Thanks for the heads up, Emily, and thank you for staying up with us tonight to watch. We'll be back tomorrow night at 11. Have a good evening, everyone.